So
like, we don't have to try.
With that said, I think it's time to move into our next almost breaking news. This broke yesterday, but James Gunn and Peter Safran, but mostly James Gunn, has announced the slate for the upcoming first, what I think they're calling chapters. So chapter 1 is called Gods and Monsters. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of watch the video, go through it, give our thoughts in real time. I've watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I generally know kind of what he announced. But I think
I know some of it, but I haven't seen all the announcements, so I'll be able to. This will be interesting for me.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch and kind of give our thoughts. So maybe as we're kind of going, we can kind of, if we have something on our mind or something we think about it, we can kind of stop it and give our input. But
I like that James Gunn is rocking the pure. It's not the salt and pepper look; it's the just pure salt.
Pure iodinized salt, dude. I'm gonna use that joke again, even though I used it twice now.
But that's kind of like. I mean, he is being a little bit salty throughout all this, so that kind of works on that.
And that's also like in James Gunn's mind. I can imagine that's what he thinks a good CEO would look like.
All right, cool. So I have the video all set up, guys. Just a reminder, you're more than welcome to pause it at any time if you have something to say, or I can too. But we'll be good to go. Are you guys ready?
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vince.
All right, here we go. Paige, help me out.
What do you got? What do you got, James?
All right. Come on, Pepper Boy. Oh, no, shit. Salt Boy.
You salty boy.
You salted.
The co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds outside of.
Oh, so right off the bat, dude. Okay, he's actually making some. There's some shade, and he's making some definitive choices for better or worse. He's saying,
can I love
better shit.
The legacy of the Snyder universe is, as you all know, the DC universe in film has been disjointed for years. Like that's the opening line.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I guess DCU he's like, so basically he's like, hey, WB, you guys should have like a meeting before you make decisions that affect billions of dollars. You guys should talk about it for a second.
You know those conference tables that you have up there at Warner Brothers? Well, we could all sit around one on a daily basis. We could have like a big whiteboard, and we could use dry erase markers and write stuff down and connect dots. You guys...
And then be like, oh, look, guys, let's do this. And then just stick with it for more than 2 years. That would be great.
And Warner Brothers is like, yeah, but what about the toys? And he's like, well, hold on. We'll get to the toys. Okay. But first, we need the story and the idea and the characters to mesh with everything. All right. That's my rant.
Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a
That statement about Shazam didn't really make sense to me. Because it doesn't, he's kind of like not saying like, yeah, Shazam is going to be like in a part of this universe as well. He's saying like, oh, Shazam's off in his other corner, which plays really well with the DC universe. It's like, what?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
So it doesn't?
So he's not going to be a part of it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he fits in really well. Okay, so he is. No, I'm not saying that.
Basically,
it's just like his. It's like
he's arguing with himself.
Yeah.
Well, no one said anything, James. We're all just
for sure. All right,
so he's basically banking on the Flash being like at the the Iron Man of the new
or
DCU.
they're recutting Flash to completely erase the Snyderverse stuff. And
Blue Beetle is going to be at the forefront of everything.
He's all Blue Beetle. He doesn't have anything to do with any of the stuff we've set up, but he fits in really well. He's off in his corner. All right, sorry.
Marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority.
Did he say True Detective? Is that what he compared that series to?
So it's just like True Detective. It's just like True Detectives.
It's exactly like True Detective. In fact, we call it True Detective Lanterns, but we don't have the rights to it. Okay, so already, like, this is
it's just like Mysteries Unsolved.
You guys remember that? No? Okay. Dude, this is the thing that kind of bothers me about the whole DCU thing, is that why are they doing Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan? I agree, do Jon Stewart, but don't you kind of have to do Hal Jordan first to get to Jon Stewart? It's like, that's what I don't like always, is like DC doesn't seem like they take their time to build up a story. They just throw characters in, and I imagine, there's probably a good reason for that maybe here, but I don't know, it just always seems like they do that. Like, they don't start with just the origins.
Yeah. I'm not a big Green Lantern guy, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it's like sort of like, it's almost like jumping into Miles Morales before Peter Parker is established, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I get
that.
I
don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm going to start this one.
For Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU, and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line. And so,
okay, so it's very clear that we're going to watch James Gunn's playlist of all the stuff he wants. Why are you doing Damian Wayne? You're establishing a new Batman universe, and you're doing Damian Wayne first? Dave, how do you do Damian Wayne without Ra's al Ghul, dude? How do you do any of that story?
They really gave James Gunn the keys to the castle and were like, do whatever, man. Which I assumed that would be the case, but
and does that mean if they're doing Damian Wayne that they're just not gonna do Dick Grayson at all? Like, is that, or are they gonna do the
I don't know.
Time is 20 years have gone by. Dick Grayson's now Nightwing.
Dude, we've really never had Robin.
No, I know, dude.
Ever.
I know.
I mean, I guess since the late 90s, I guess, but
and we've never gotten a kid Robin. We've never gotten a Robin it was really portrayed in the comic books. We've gotten a 46-year-old Robin, in Chris O'Donnell,
who's really whiny.
Yeah, right. That's kind of a bummer. I'm kind of bummed about that, but we'll see.
This is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. Cool. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is...
Why is this video so heavily edited?
It's pretty edited, yeah.
Did he just like go on a rant for 20 minutes and they're like, no, there's no way people are going to sit through this?
Yeah, maybe.
It's weird.
Dude, it is crazy. Like, they're just laying this all out in a 6-minute video. Like, I've never seen anyone really do this.
Yeah, they're getting the jump on it for sure. Like, normally this would, like, people would wait till
just like, here's what everything's about. Like, instead of just, like, giving us a little, like, taste of, like, here's the title. They're like, no, here's everything what it's about.
Right.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but, like, it seems like it's definitely strange.
Yeah, I mean, he seems excited about it. Matters to us, and I want to be true to those stories. I'm
going to die in the first 50 minutes
and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me, and I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys.
So don't try to cancel me again because it's not going to work.
He's all, and also the last thing I want to say is screw Henry Cavill. Go screw yourself. Thanks for coming. I got the keys now, so just respect me. Man, wow. Dude, so a lot of information there.
Dude. Yeah. So that takes us through what, 2023, 4? What?
2033, yeah. 20... Yeah, and it sounds like the first thing that they're
really 2033?
Yeah, he said the next 8 to 10 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Which is like, why are you wasting time on that cartoon nobody knows about? Dude, did you I
feel like you should relax a bit. That's crazy. Yeah. How do you lay out that many things, dude? Like, so many things change. Like,
you're the exec at Warner Brothers, and you have to tell James Gunn to relax a bit after he comes in hot, and he's like, "Look, I have the ideas," and they're like, "Great, we want to hear it." And then he just is like, "I want to do Damian Wayne first and foremost." Like, look, you need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, those are some hot takes, so to speak, dude. I don't know. Like, I think it's great. Like DC has never had like an actual person to organize everything like this. Like, obviously Snyder was not the guy. Yeah. So like, I think it's great that they like have that now. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna work out. Like, it's crazy. Like for me with James Gunn, like I really love some of the things he's done. Like Guardians is at the top for me. I also really don't like a lot of things that he's done. And so I'm kind of like, what are we going to get out of this? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm in the same place, man. It's like DC has been so up and down, mostly down for I guess my entire life. But, you know, there's stuff that they've done that's really good on the animation side that makes you just go, you know, and I've been saying it to you every time we talk about it. It's like, why not hire the people involved in the animated series that wrote some of the best Batman stuff ever and contributed brand new stuff to the Bat universe. So yeah. The other thing that, like, I don't think I'm on the side of making Batman movies anymore. I think you should, like, especially HBO, should put the money that they're going to put towards the movie and do a Last of Us 10 episode series where it's like, you focus on Batman and it's multiple villains, and it's it's almost like a detective story of the week. Like, you have the ability to do that and throw movie money at it to make it the most epic Batman thing ever. I just don't I don't care about most of these characters. I'll go see them because it's interesting. I think Booster Gold sounds really cool. That one movie just sounds like the Eternals. Like, that's going to be the DC's the Eternal movie, where it's like they're protectors of the world and they're going to do it their own way. So there's that, but
it's interesting, dude.
Supergirl sounded kind of interesting. I don't know much about.
Yeah,
Supergirl.
that sounded like a cool way to do it. I don't know. Like, we'll see if but I think you're right. I mean, it's tough to not build upon your biggest names first. Which it seems like a lot is going to be riding on that Superman movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
where's Wonder Woman?
It's hard for me to imagine a James Gunn Superman movie, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Have you seen Brightburn? It's kind of like the dark Superman story, and he wrote that. I mean, I think that's obviously it's going to be way different, but I don't know. Superman is another movie that they haven't been
very
able to crack.
Not James Gunn, and yeah, I mean, I despise the Snyder Superman, so
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I'm surprised there's no Wonder Woman. I know they're doing this series
what's
Paradise Island, but I just feel like, man, not doing Wonder Woman
is Wonder Woman not there? I guess she's not there, right?
I guess.
What are they doing with Batman? So the new Batman is not a part of it. If that's its own thing. So what's going to be Batman? Who's going to be Batman? What's Batman going to be like? What's going to be the tone?
Yeah. Well, and you're doing the Damian Wayne storyline, there's a lot of backstory to that. So how much of that backstory you're going to tell? Where are you going to start that story? Are you going to start at the beginning, or are you going to start it, in the middle, where Bruce Wayne is raising this kid, that's the grandson of Ra's al Ghul, and there's all this lore to it, but then there's all this baggage and stuff with Dick
how are you going to set that up?
I don't know. So that frightens me a little bit.
So it's basically you're going to do Batman without doing Batman, basically.
I mean, it's kind of what it seems like. And it's weird that they titled it The Brave and the Bold. So I think what that indicates is you're going to get a lot brighter of a Batman. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I'm still interested to see what they do with it, but it just feels like it feels like Batman should be the easiest of them to do. And every time we get Batman, it's even the Nolan movies, there's some bright spots of that trilogy, but it's just on the whole, it just, I don't know. It's not really Batman, so to speak.
I'm with you though. Batman and Spider-Man both have the best rogues galleries, by far. So I could see your idea of a Batman series. When you first think of it, you're like, oh, Batman's too big to do a series. They always want to do films, but that would be so awesome to not be tied down by doing, you have a trilogy of films that's 3 or 4 villains, as opposed to you could build a whole universe with 14 villains, all could do all kinds of stuff. You could do crazy stuff with Robin. You could
change up the writers. You could change up the directors of each episode, so you're getting a different kind of vibe on what Batman is, rather than just being locked into, I don't know, having to fill in the gaps of story that's not told. I just hate that about Batman, especially because Batman's such a cool character, and there's so much cool stuff you can do with Batman. Like you said, the rogues gallery is him and Spider-Man.
For me, it's
top.
I still have to go back to Batman the Animated Series to be
I agree.
That's the best Batman.
I 100% agree.
And the closest to what Batman actually is, and it's
Batman and
how much time has to pass before we get something like that again.
And it's all in the relationship of Batman to the city, to the rogues gallery, his relationship to Robin. There's all this baggage that he has to work out through being Batman. And the thing that the animated series did so well is it portrayed, Batman as the person, and Bruce Wayne is kind of this, facade that, Bruce Wayne just wanted to be Batman all the time, but he had to go do this facade of this playboy Bruce Wayne, aloof, kind of a mimbo of a person, and play that playboy role up. And that's the dichotomy you have to have with Bruce Wayne and Batman, because it makes it so much fun to watch. But I don't know. I really enjoy the Green Lantern, so I'm also excited to see if they can pull something out of that.
They got a lot to live up to from the first Green Lantern film that was a masterpiece. So I don't know if they're gonna. We'll see, dude. If they
with the
come close to that,
the poison
Ryan
cloud.
Reynolds.
Yeah, the poison cloud.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
It is funny because like you have the new Shazam and Blue Beetle coming out this year, so it did kind of seem like in there he's like, yeah, they're already in development, basically done. So, but yeah, they'll be great. Anyway, the ones I wanted to do are after that.
It's just so non-committal because it's like you're not saying like, yeah, we're taking Shazam and we're taking Aquaman and they're coming in this universe with us. They're like, yeah, they're existing and then they're over there but they work really well over here, but they're going to be over there.
They've made money, so we have to keep making them.
Jason Momoa's a smoke show. Okay, we're going to keep that ball rolling. It's just going to be over there, but they're going to be looking over here, and then we're going to be looking from here out there. Okay, and then that's how you know. It's like, what? Did you just sell me a car?
Yes. So of the original, so out of let's call it Zack Snyder's Justice League. Who's coming back? So is it just Jason Momoa? Like, what's happening? Like,
and Ezra Miller, which has its own.
Dude, why out of everybody you're gonna bring back Ezra Miller, dude? Who's been
That's what I think, because the rumor is that Jason Momoa is gonna play Lobo, which makes a ton of sense. And I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna use the Flash movie to end that whole Snyderverse. I think that's why they didn't announce Flash. I think that's why they didn't announce Aquaman. I think they're gonna. I think this is going to be overall a much brighter universe.
So it's really gonna be like the way the comics reset it.
I think so.
Using the Flash. So it's gonna be like. So it's basically like they're ending Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller too.
Yeah.
Using that, they're just not saying that yet because that's what's going to do. It's going to be back to like a new universe.
Well, I don't know that was the intention when they made the Flash movie, because you're right. It's basically following like Flash.
There's no way, because that would again be assuming that they had a meeting before they.
So that tells me that they probably are now going to use it. That there's probably reshoots and stuff that they did, because I know that they cut out. I think Ben Affleck. If they do Flashpoint Paradox, it could be really cool because that whole storyline is like
It stands
Thomas
on
Wayne
its
is
own.
Batman. Yeah. So they could do it that way and have it reboot the whole thing. But I don't know. That's some pretty heavy lifting.
I guess Henry Cavill's not in it.
No. They've been open about Henry Cavill's not going to be in this anymore.
Dude, so because
get over it.
I saw a quote where he's all, we didn't fire him. We just didn't hire him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's
so
all
funny.
non-committal mealy mouth stuff.